All right, let's get to it. All right, so first and foremost, welcome to Fetti Talk. Today is Thursday, June 10th. So if you guys seen the market today, you guys will see that things are looking pretty good, pretty green. Um, it's kind of weird as to why it's looking green, but we're gonna talk about it. Once again, it's not just about making money; it's about knowing why you're making money if you're invested into this, and um, it's a pretty clear reason why things are up today, but they could be down just as easily. That's really how fragile the market is at this point. It's up right now simply just due to the fact that the jobless claims fell for a sixth straight week. We are down to 376,000, which even though we predicted it was going to be about 370,000 in terms of jobless rates, we still hit 376, which is the best thing we've done since before COVID hit. So the jobs are available. Um, that is the only reason why the market is green today. There are a lot of things in terms of inflation that would indicate why the market is down, but that is the only thing that's keeping this shit afloat as of late. First off, we can talk about these meme stocks. We talked about it yesterday. How you really shouldn't put all your eggs in a basket. I told you guys yesterday that GameStop was going to be doing their quarterly call after the stock market closed. They did it. They once again reported that they have turned another loss for a quarter. And because of that, the price has gone down $40 as of right now, which is about 13%. But pretty much every single meme stock is down today. AMC is down, Wish is down, Clover Health Investments, Wendy's, all those meme stocks, they're all down today. Once again, that's what comes with dealing with volatile companies that show no proof of actual profit. Um, it's a gamble. Got to deal with it. But the real stocks are up. Most stocks in the actual market is up. Once again, the fact that the jobless claims are down is the only reason why it is. We're dealing with some real inflation, and I know a lot of times people when I speak about inflation, a lot of times they're like, "Well, what actually causes inflation? What are some of the things that actually creates inflation?" Well, they actually announced some of the things that are causing serious inflation right now. Last night. So consumer prices has rose 5% in the last year. Consumer prices. So when we say consumer prices, that's everything. Anything that you normally spend on a regular basis, whether it's gas, whether it's food, whether it's whatever the fuck, that has gone up 5% in the last year. Now, why is this important? Because that doesn't seem like a big number, but when you think about it, it's actually a huge number. That is the highest that it has ever gone since 2008. I don't know if you guys remember what happened in 2008, but it was a dark time for the people who actually had money. That was the last time we had a market crash. So this is the highest that it has been. Is the fastest pace inflation rise that we've had in 13 years. Also, the 3.8 rise in core inflation rate. Um, which this excludes food and energy prices, but this was the sharpest increase that we've had in almost 3 decades. These are scary numbers. Like these are like not necessarily scary, but it's a cause for concern. It's a cause to know that we right on a borderline of this shit, not necessarily crashing, but our stocks going to shit because of inflation. But once again, what's leveling it out is the jobless claims. It's letting people know that yeah, things are up, but people are going back to work. Now, remember what I said yesterday. We have a serious issue right now in terms of people quitting their jobs voluntarily. A lot of that has to do with the state of the childcare. So the reason why I say this is Joe Biden is actually going to be doing a press conference. We supposed to be doing a press conference later on today that will be speaking directly to COVID and the vaccines and all that good stuff. Normally, when he does speak, it does have some type of bearing on the market. So these things do correlate, believe it or not. If we speak on, because I know his biggest push is trying to get the younger crowd to start getting vaccines. Teenagers, preteens, and shit like that. These are the things that will allow schools to open back up, which will stop voluntary quits, which will make it to where the jobless claims go down even more, which means that we'll be able to catch up to this 5%, which will level out inflation. So these things do correlate. It may not seem like it does, but these things do actually correlate. Now, some of the things that have really shot up over the past year, that's really caused this spike, this 5% spike. The one of the biggest things is used cars and truck prices. In the last year, their prices has gone up over 29% in the last year. Now, if you are listening and you have my Patreon page, you will see the very, not the last thing I did, but the post before that. It speaks specifically to this and how you guys can capitalize on this. Once again, tap into the Patreon page. I'm not trying to sell y'all a crock of shit, but with this, what I just said, it going up the last 29% in the last year, I speak to a specific thing that you can tap into that will make sure that you can take advantage of that 29% because that's a big number. Tap into the Patreon page, folks. Also, the gas has gone up over, the gas index is up over 56%, and just an overall increase of 28%. And then, things like food have gone up over 4%. These are the things that cause inflation, that's got that inflation rate up to 5%. So, the used car sales, the real estate market, food, gas, energy as a whole. These are the main things that are driving force. So it may seem like I'm not talking about it may seem like I'm talking about a bunch of nothing, but all these things that I'm naming off is the reason why the market is where it has been over the last couple of months. These are the things that cause inflation, and until we actually get all the way back to work, and not even back to work, just consistently bringing in that income, we're never going to level it out, and we'll get there soon. I mean, we will get there soon. They did just announce that they issued out another $2.3 million in stimulus money. Salute to the people who got that money. But if you got that money, if you got it back, today or tomorrow, still go get to some more money. Don't keep relying on the government, because that is what will keep us in that inflation period, us never catching up to the prices. So there's just something to keep in mind. But Bitcoin is back up. We see that Bitcoin is it's making its way back up. Uh, you know, I mean, who didn't see that coming? I would say that most people would have seen that coming. This is just kind of how the market works. But lastly, I told you guys before, there's three people that you always want to make sure you're paying attention to when it comes to when they speak. Joe Biden was one. The Fed chair, Powell, is another one. And the third one is the Secretary of Treasury, which is Janet Yellen. She's actually going to be speaking to Congress today. I believe it's at like noon or maybe 2 o'clock Eastern time, 11 o'clock West Coast time. So, if things do change for the good or the bad within the next few hours, it probably is going to have something to do with either something Joe Biden said or something that Janet Yellen said. Being that I'm not going to be doing a live stream tomorrow, I just want you to keep these things in mind if you are watching this right now. So if you see at the end of the day, shit either shoots up or goes down a little bit, more than likely it has something to do with what one of these two white people had to say. So hopefully they don't say nothing too crazy. Hopefully they say that things are on the up and up and keep investing in. If that happens, then we should probably see another bump. But like I said, right now the market is looking pretty good. But that's pretty much it, y'all. Like I said, jobless rate is down, inflation is up, everything is up. Tap into the Patreon page. Oh yeah, and with the post that I actually posted yesterday on the Patreon page, if you invested in any of those things that I talked to you about, you made money today. Congratulations. But yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. I'm not gonna take up too much of y'all time. There will be new content on the Patreon page tomorrow. I'll also have some video content, more than likely being that I'm going to Nome. Probably get some behind the scenes footage on there. I ain't gonna be on no groupie shit and be filming Drake or asking him no questions. Y'all can miss me with that shit. But we'll do some behind the scenes footage, and in the meantime, drop some more jewels on some ways to get to the bag. That's pretty much it. I see we ain't got a lot of talking in the chat. That's cool. I don't like answering questions if I ain't got to. But once again, make sure you guys tap into the Patreon page. There's a lot of jewels on there, and yeah, I'll be back next Tuesday, same time. Well, same place, probably not the same time. Y'all know how that go. But y'all have a good one though.